If you have never lived through abuse like I have since a kid, through bullying, belittling, controlling every aspect of your life, including that of your animals, then I'm glad. Because I've only just survived the years of hell that I have been through. And it is not okay. People who knew me before knew who I was. I was strong, I was determined, and I would always stand up and fight no matter what, for myself and for others. Strong-willed, strong-minded, and I would take on anyone to do what was right. I wouldn't care if it was a man 3 times my size. There would be no fear in what my purpose was, to stop harm inflicted upon another life. That has always been my reason. So the trauma these abusers inflict on their victims, the rates of unaliving in this country is sky high, and a lot to do with people just like the ones that have been attacking my life. And I've said many times I should be dead, but I'm not. The last 2 days have brought on CPTSD, complex post-traumatic stress disorder, from a simple event of needing antibiotics for a urine infection which I get through head trauma. So the brain stops the bladder from emptying fully, and the little bit of urine that's left leads to bladder infections, which I tried natural stuff for, and then I needed antibiotics to clear it up, which in turn caused my body to not be able to pass stools, and that triggered CPTSD, because the drugging and the mental health, after I was lied about, my good name attacked, misdiagnosed and forced drugs, that the drugging up there led to me not being able to pass stools, where I was blocked up so badly that I thought I was going to die. So the last 2 days have been complete hell, because then all that trauma of what they done to you and what should never have occurred, you relive it. And it's just shit, because no one should have to live like that. I got rang up the other day asking if I was any danger to the person who tried to end my life. That even the thought of her brings the CPTSD. Even seeing a car go past brings on the CPTSD. And if I'm unlucky enough to see her face, I don't go near her. Why would I? She tried to end my life. She makes me physically sick. And now my mother is in the same boat, with her life erased. And the harm that's caused, they witness the harm, and they keep it carrying on. When I was drugged out of my head and I came home the first time, all I could do was stare at the ceiling. They even attack your animals. She tried to get rid of all my animals, but smart enough to not get rid of Dave and Rusty, Bill's cat, but get rid of all the rest. Tried, and I came home staring at the ceiling in my bed, and that was my life. And I wanted to end my life every single day. And she knew that. They all knew that. So the second time, when I was to get married to Casey, her little switch flipped and she tried to stop the wedding and joined forces with my stalker, which the police knew about, who ran me off the road to stop the wedding, the stalker. And I am considered dangerous. I am considered psychotic. I'm the one that has got a mental illness diagnosis because years and years and years of this abuse and psychologically controlling everyone in my life to make it I'm the dangerous nutter, considering I've always saved lives. Jumped over the bar to stop a man from getting bottled. Took 2 military men on in the beach to stop a woman from getting sexually assaulted and probably killed. Hundreds of animals I have saved. Stopped men from unaliving because I've been there because of her and because of this brain injury that is, So if you don't understand what I'm going through, then I am glad. I am incredibly glad that, and I hope you will never be in a position where anyone hates you enough to destroy your life, to take everybody that you once loved, that you thought you were your people, from you, end up with no one, and I mean no one in your corner, no one to speak for you, nothing. A few people stayed, but they did not speak. It's like she dug a big hole, kicked me in. I screamed for help. Everyone looked down, kicked a bit of dirt and walked away. And then a few people, one person put a ladder. It only takes one person to see you when you're down there. And that was God. Just one person to put that ladder down. And then your people will come. Anyone that knows me knows who I am. I dedicate my life to looking after animals that no one else will help. I dedicate my life to saving people's lives. Not many women I know would put their life on the line for people they don't even know, up against men that are giants, to save a life. How many people would you know? How many women would you know would step up and do that? And I'm considered dangerous, psychotic, when they tried to end my life. When you're living with this kind of shit, your silence only affords them more victims. So speak up. And please speak out if you know anything to help someone else, because it may mean the difference between someone living and someone dying, and it's a bit too late after the fact. Kia kaha. If you're down there and you've got no one, my advice would be to pray. One person.